for so many years that some people in Shreveport are becoming numb to the violence.
But the violence bears a burden we all are paying. We examine
from paganism. The brothers that stayed out in that, that's all we talk about.
You see the prophets out here with the gospel, you think that we playing or something, we playing or something. You see the army and yeah, we the sons of God and we stand for something. Israel, friends to have power with God and man prevail. You know the Israel, the flex on them. Jesus ain't mad cause I know why they raging. Yeah, they know the most high God. So step on them, 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 yeah, step on them.
Bro, where you going? Where you going, man? What's your name is, man?
My name is Miko, man.
Miko?
Yeah.
What's your name is, big bro?
Mario.
Miko and Mario. I got a question for you, man. You live here in Shreveport?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you pass through the cities in Shreveport, what side of town we live on? People that look like you and me, what we live at? The good side of town?
No, it depends.
Huh? It depends?
It depends.
Majority. What the majority of us at?
Well, you know, they all over, man.
They all over?
They all over.
So who live in the ghetto? What people live in the ghetto?
All kind live in
All
the
kinds. So Chinese people in the ghetto?
Our kind.
Oh, our kind. I thought you said all kind. I said, man, you lying. I don't lie to me.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
You say our kind. Why you think that is?
Can't answer that.
Because think about it. We the smartest, we the fastest, we the best looking, we the strongest. Why is it that we in the ghettos and the hoods and the slums? Always. Because you can leave Louisiana and go to Texas and you'll find black people that look like me and you in the hood and the ghetto with our pants sagging or our women walking around half naked with other people's hair in their head. Why you think that is? Deuteronomy 28 verse 16. Watch this, I'm gonna show you, because God put curses on his chosen people, the people that's on this sign right here. I can't see it. On that sign right there. But I want you to look at this right here. Read that. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So, he said, cursed shall you be in the city. Remember, he's talking to the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Americans. What happened to the Native Americans? When the Caucasians came over here off the boats, what happened to the Native Americans, the people that was already here? What happened to them? They took everything, right? Disease ran rampant, rape, murder. They got slaughtered, right? Those are our forefathers, right? Would you call that a blessing? What happened to them? That's a curse from God, right? Read it again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
And we are cursed in the field, like the soldier just said. We was picking sugar cane, we was picking tobacco, we was picking cotton. But we still cursed today. Those curses still on us, because where we live at. And read the next curse and prove it to them.
Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Right, so right now when we go shopping, we live in check to check more than likely. We're getting food stamps. A lot of our people on food, not all of us, you know what I'm saying? But most of our people, when you think of food stamps, you think of black people, you think of single mothers, right? They put a stigma on us, a bad image on our people. They say that we live off food stamps and stuff. But God did this to us. Read the next one, verse 48. I'm going to show you one more.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Serve our what?
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Who did God say we was going to serve?
The enemies.
The enemies. Who y'all think the enemy is?
The other kind.
The other kind, okay. All right, and you're absolutely correct. The other kind is the enemy, but here in where we live at, who do we think the enemy is today? Our own kind, right? Because black on black crime is rampant. People shot at us standing right here reading the Bible out loud. They shot with a semi-automatic. Shot at us for reading the Bible out loud. They think we the enemy. We don't own nothing. You understand what I'm saying? But keep going. Watch this.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
Right now, if y'all want something to eat, something to drink, or you want clothes on your back, where you got to go get it from? Who sell it though? Who controls it? The enemy, right? Ain't no black owned clothing stores where I got the raw textiles in the back. I got to go to my enemy even if I open up a shop. Think about all the tie shops here in Shreveport. Remember, we used to have a lot of black owned tie shops where people that look like me and you was running them things, but now who own all the tie shops in Shreveport? The Arab man, right? Who own all the liquor stores? Huh?
The other man.
Yeah, not our people, right? And keep going, watch this.
And in want of all things.
If you want anything, y'all drive a car? What you gotta have to drive that car?
License.
Where you go get that from?
Them.
What else you gotta have on that car to keep it legal? Insurance. Where you get that from?
Them.
What else you gotta have? What on your windshield?
You gotta have inspection.
Inspection sticker, right? What about that license plate, that little old small thing you gotta?
Have that too.
You gotta go to them for that thing, right? if somebody in your household or your family dies, you know they dead, you can prove he's dead. What you gotta have before you can get that money? Huh? But before you can get that check, what you gotta show them? You gotta give them a death certificate. Who's in control of the death certificate? Them, right? Keep going, watch this.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
That same person that's running the world right now, that's putting us in the hood, in the ghettos, have things called redline, have things called Planned Parenthood in our communities. They had yokes of iron on our neck back in the day, right? But the yokes came off when?
Until he have destroyed thee.
They only took the yokes off when we was destroyed. But it's not talking about physically destroyed. What you think it's talking about?
You talking about the
Hosea
Social
4.
Security numbers?
Huh?
You ain't talking about the Social Security numbers?
No, not the Social Security number. They had real yokes of iron, metal on our neck, and they took them off when we was destroyed. I'm gonna show you. What you think, big bro? Huh? Gold? No. What you said? You absolutely correct. We destroyed mentally. We the only race of people that go to stores that aren't that aren't set up by people that look like us, and we'll buy hair that we already grow hair out our head, but we'll go and buy somebody else's hair and stick it on our head, and then dye it blonde, blue, red, purple. It don't make no sense, but we look the best already. We'll go and put clown makeup on our face. Our women do that to try to look like drag queens, because that's where they get it from. The drag queens, right? They put these long eyelashes on their face, and you already got eyelashes. They'll shave their eyebrows off and draw new ones, and they already look good without that, right? But this is why we destroy. Read what you got.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
God says his people, the chosen people of God. This is what we supposed to be reading about when we go to church. On the wrong day of the week, by the way. But we go to church. They're supposed to teach you about God's chosen people. Wherever they are, because it's already prophesied that they're not going to know who they are in the last days. But wherever God's chosen people are, they are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. It's not hard to figure out who they are. Because guess what they're going to be doing? On the block, chilling, you know what I'm saying, drinking, prostituting their daughters, letting them come outside with leggings on. And matter of fact, the men are going to leave the children. That's prophesied, right? Who have the most single-parent households in the United States? What race of people?
Okay.
Our people. Why? Back in the 60s when MLK and them was marching, our marriage was through the roof, right? We used to stay together. We used to want to raise our kids, but something happened between the 60s and right now. What you think happened? What did they do to us? From the 60s? What you say, big bro? How old are y'all, by the way, before we go there?
Yeah, I'm 29.
You 29. You a youngster.
I'm 37.
37. You young too. So y'all know. So did both of y'all grow up with y'all fathers in the household? Neither one of y'all. Now how is that? Me too. All three of us, we don't even know each other, but all of us, neither one of us grew up with our dad in the house. Why is that? I'm gonna show you. Go to Deuteronomy 28, and I think it's like 38.
Common denominator.
Maybe it's even 41. Say, which he shall leave, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get that for me real quick. I'm gonna show you something, because we can do a survey right now. You can ask every black man that you come across, man, maybe 100 men. And about 80 to 90% of us gonna say the same thing, single parent household. Because back in the day, during the 60s, or I say the 70s, they put drugs on our community, right? And start taking the man out of the household. Start giving the woman extra benefits to kick the man out. So now our women say, hey, I can do way better without you. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna give me housing, they gonna give me food, right? So what I need you for? So now I'm independent, right? Remember that song Boosie and Weber had, Independent? That song is destroying our black community, right? Beyonce had a song, To the Left, you know what I'm saying? And our women got the same mind frame, but yet they do bad without us, right? But read what you got, watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Now remember, these is curses from God on his chosen people. So he said the men of our community, they're going to be evil towards their brother. So, for instance, you can see you with a woman, your wife, your daughter, whatever, your auntie, and I can want her, right? I can want to do harm to you to get her, knowing that that's your wife and I shouldn't want to break up your household. But yet, the music that we listen to promotes this, right? It promotes side pieces and sneaky links and when I'm old school, they used to call it boyfriend number 2 and Splackavelli. We brag about these things, but yet it's going to destroy somebody's household, right? Keep going. Watch this.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
We're going to be evil towards who?
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Because we're not going to marry them, right? We're going to have sex with them, maybe even have a baby with them, and we're going to leave them and go do the same thing down the street. We're destroying the community, right? I'm going to show you what's going to fix it. Finish that up.
And toward the remnant of his children.
So not only are we evil towards our women, but we're evil towards our children. But because we're not doing this one thing, Hebrews 13 and 4, or either Exodus 22, whichever one. I'm going to show you. One thing that we're supposed to be learning. Y'all ever been to church before? The pastor's supposed to have been teaching us the laws of God. I'm going to read you a law of God that'll fix our whole community today, if we do it. But they're not going to read this on Sunday because they want money. The Bible says we ain't supposed to pay no man to teach us the gospel. The gospel was free. But read what you got.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid.
So if a young man go out and see a woman that he likes, he's attracted to her, he go and spit game to her, read.
That is not betrothed.
She's not engaged. She don't belong to somebody, read.
And lie with her.
He go smash her, read.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Say you surely, meaning you have to, you got to make this woman your wife. Nobody's teaching us to do that anymore. They say you ain't no man until you have about 3, 4, 5 women. You know what I'm saying? Some people say you ain't a man until you kill somebody. What y'all think a man is? Huh?
Stay there and provide.
What'd you say?
Stay there and provide.
Stay there and provide. I like that. That's absolutely correct. We don't know that though as black men. They ain't teaching us that. The music don't teach us that. Television don't teach us that. And our daddies ain't in our life, so he ain't teaching us that.
They took them shows off.
1 Kings 2 and 2.
They took them shows off.
Yeah, they took all them. Yeah, took all the positive shows off TV because they know that. Remember Bill Cosby, millionaire. He was finna try to buy the network to continue to push positive black imagery because we need that. Remember when Black Panther came out? Everybody put on the Wakanda dashikis. Everybody was black power for about 2 weeks, maybe even 2 months. And then we went right back to killing each other, hating each other again, right? But it just showed you that small imagery, that small brief time period we had of black positive imagery, it changed our whole mindset for like 2 months. But if we kept pushing that, like the church is supposed to be doing, we wouldn't hate each other, right? But this is what a man is, 1 Kings 2 and 2.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 2. I go the way of all the earth.
So this is King David, by the way. He wasn't a deadbeat dad. He's speaking to his son Solomon. Keep going.
Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
So King David was getting ready to die by this time. So he brought his son Solomon and said, hey man, I done been across the whole world. What I want to show you is I want you to be strong, right? We don't want to be weak around here with the wrist broke. I need you to be strong and upright like a man, like me. Keep going.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
This is what being a man is, keeping the commandments of God. They might say keeping the commandments of God look lame. Oh man, you got a wife, you got kids, you love your family, boy, you lame, right? That's what they say. This is they've turned the whole world upside down. But keep going, watch this.
To walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments.
And his what?
And his commandments.
That you gotta marry the wife that you're dealing with, that you gotta stay there in that household and raise those kids, because if you don't, society is set up to from school to prison pipeline. They making profit off of this thing. So it's up to the men in our generation to save the community by marrying the women that we with and raising the kids. But finish it off.
And his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest.
So that's what being a man is. But the mind frame that we got, the hatred, I'm gonna show you where it all comes from. It comes from that thing right there. Who y'all say that is?
Jesus.
You said Jesus?
Nah.
Who you say it is?
What his name, Bill? Don't tell me.
Everybody say that's Jesus for sure.
No, that ain't Jesus. Leonardo da Vinci painted him on.
Nah, for sure. Caesar Borgia. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, everybody, we've been taught that that's Jesus, right? And with the mind frame of thinking that this guy is Jesus comes, we gotta love all races, but yet we hate each other, right? We all created equal, but yet they live on the good side and we live on the bad side. All this mind frame comes from thinking that this guy is Jesus. But yet, I'm gonna show you that this guy is not Jesus at all. He's the devil, and I'm gonna prove it. Read what you got.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which
So the revelation of Jesus Christ. The word revelation means the revealing. So the revealing of Jesus Christ, because his image has been hidden in the last days. I'm about to show it to you. Verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So Jesus Christ had hair in color was white, but the texture, yeah, you're right. But the texture was like wool. What race of people have hair like wool?
All kind.
Black people. You say all kind?
I said our kind.
You be saying our, everything you say, oh, I got you. Our kind, I got you. You absolutely correct. Black people have hair like wool. Chinese people ain't got hair that's woolly like a sheep. Arab ain't got hair like wool, right? Our people, right? So Jesus Christ had Negro hair. Let's see, keep going.
As white as snow.
But his hair was white as snow. Because remember, when you have white hair, gray hair meaning you got wisdom, right? You've been around the world been on the earth a long time. You should have wisdom. All these old men we see walking looking like winos, they should be wise. But they haven't been taught right? But part of the reason is because these churches on the corner. There's too many churches on the block ain't teaching us nothing, right? But keep going.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
But Christ's eyes are like a flame of fire. Why do you think his eyes are like a flame of fire? You ever see a wino walking through here and they got them red eyes? Why they eyes red? Drunk. Now Christ wasn't drunk though, but yeah. I'm gonna prove to you what was going on with Christ's eyes. Read what you got, Genesis 49.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
With what?
With wine.
So Christ drunk wine, but in moderation. They teach you in the church that you can't drink no alcohol. That's a sin. You drink alcohol, it's a sin. But yet, when you get drunk, that's what the sin is. You know what I'm saying? You got to know your limitations. It's all about moderation. So Christ drunk much wine, but in moderation. He wasn't walking around being a wino or an alcoholic. He just drank a little wine. His first miracle was turning water into wine, right? That was a miracle. So go back.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
So now he looked down at his feet. So he already got hair like Negro. He got red eyes. So he saw Christ's feet. It looked like what?
Like unto fine brass.
What color is brass?
Brown.
You're absolutely correct. This color right here. That's color right there. Look like a penny, right? You get a brand new penny out the bank, that's like a light brown, right? You get an old penny out my ashtray, that's like a black brown, right? Let's see how dark Christ was though. Read what you got.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So Christ's feet was so dark brown, they looked like they had been burnt in a furnace. So what color is that? Huh?
He said black, man.
That's black, right? So Negro hair, Negro color skin like me, like us. So what was he? What was Jesus? Huh? He's a black man, right?
Yes, right.
So watch this, Jeremiah 14:2. I'm gonna show you one more, because he was a Jew. Y'all know that he was Jew, right? Let's see what the Jews look like in the Bible. Because if you Google a Jewish man or a Jew right now, a white guy with some strings on his hair and a big ugly hat, he's gonna pop up. Let's see if he was a Jew. Jeremiah 14:2. Let's see what they look like in the times of the Bible. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Let's see.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
What color are the Jews?
They are black unto the ground.
What color did it say the Jews in the Bible were? Black unto the ground. Now, it says black unto the ground because the first man, Adam, was made from the ground. Let's see what he looked like. Genesis 2:7. Because most of us out here identify with the tribe of Judah. What would you say your pops is on this side right here? On the right is what America calls us, and on the left is what God calls us. So where you see your dad at on that side? What would he identify as?
What you just said.
Judah, right?
I said what you just said about the right to the what?
Oh, repeat? Yeah. On the left side of this sign right here is what God calls us. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Naphtali, all of that. That's what God calls us. But on the right is what we've been taught during the time of slavery. They changed our nationality and called us. You said Judah? What you say, man?
I said Judah.
Judah? Okay. So we just read the Jews are black. Now let's see what they look like in the beginning. Genesis.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So when God created man from the dust of the ground, it's not talking about the grass on top of the ground. It's the dirt that's on the ground, right? You see that a tire just drove through this grass right here. What color is that?
Brown.
It's brown, right? God made man out of that. And then read verse 13, right above that, where it say the mist.
Verse 6.
Watch this.
But there went up a mist from the earth.
So before he created the first man out of the dust of the ground, there was water on the ground. Now, if we go pour some water on that right there, what color is it gonna get for sure?
Turn a little dark.
It's gonna get dark, right? You ain't no way you can have a white tee on and fall in it and not get stained up, right? So that means that the first man was of color, dark color to be specific, but the first man was of color, right? So if the Jews are black, the first man was black, where do we get this image right here from?
See, Chuck?
Where did that come from? Get Matthew 24 and I think it's 24 or 24 and 4. Yeah, 24. Watch this. Where that image come from? What about you, sir, pumping that gas right there? You believe in Jesus, right? Where did this image right here come from? We just read the description of Jesus Christ, and it looked just like you, sir, pumping that gas. Jesus looked just like you, but he just had a beard on his face. That's the only difference between you and Jesus. Let's see where it come from. Read what you got.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets.
So this is out Jesus' mouth. These words are written in red. He already knew in the last days that false prophets was going to be on the earth. That's where you see all these churches on the community, but yet this is the worst side of town. Right. It's 50 churches on 7th Street alone. Don't even go down Linwood. It's more churches. Churches all around us, but yet we get more shootings, more robberies, more killings on this side of town. They're not teaching us the word of God. But keep going.
And shall show great signs and wonders, in so much that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
The whole world has been deceived by these Christian pastors. Matter of fact, by these theology schools. Because, for instance, y'all think God love everybody? They say he do. Where it say it at, you know? Quote that thing for me. I know y'all finna quote it. I know you finna quote it. Where it say it at? For God so loved the... What? Y'all know it, man. What y'all finna say, man? What? Do y'all think of John 3:16? What? Y'all know John 3:16? Let's read it for him. I want him to hear it anyway. I bet y'all can quote half of it or something. I know y'all know it. John 3:16. Let's see.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only...
Look at it. I see your lips moving. You know this.
gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
So, everybody knows this. Why is it that we know that scripture, but we don't know the whole context? Right. Who's having the conversation in John 3:16? You know? You know? Don't know that, huh? That Nicodemus, a ruler, a Jew, was talking to Jesus Christ, another Jew. Two black men having a conversation about other black people. But, let's see. It said, God so loved the world. Let's see what the world it was talking about. Get Isaiah 45:17. How you doing, my sister? Did you get a flyer? You got a flyer? We're reading about your heritage. We're showing that you're the chosen people of God and you're the greatest people to ever walk the face of the earth. Did you know that? They don't teach us that in church. They teach us that everybody's great and we all created equal. But yet, God says you are the greatest person to walk the face of the earth.
That's right.
All right, sis. But Isaiah 45:17. I'm going to show you what the world is that he was talking about that he loved. Keep going.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
So we're talking about salvation. It say the nation of Israel, they're gonna be saved in Lord, right? Keep going.
With an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
Whoa. What's they gonna be what?
Nor confounded, world without end.
They just called the nation of Israel the world without end. That's gonna be saved. So when you read John 3:16, it's talking about the nation of Israel that's gonna be saved.
What is a nation?
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.